Hey, it's Coach Tom Ferry. Welcome to Life by Design, your place online for ideas, inspiration, and how to stay in action. So let me ask you a question. There's been a lot of buzz about this. Have you ever pulled a Steven Slater? You know, everybody's talking about this guy, JetBlue, flight attendant who just, lost it. And, a lot of talk about this poor guy. And I say poor guy. His reaction, his response, he's done what so many people have either thought about doing or wanted to do. But that's not why I'm recording this video. I'm not thinking about Steven Slater. I'm actually backing up, and I'm thinking about the gal. I'm thinking about the gal who, as the plane lands, before it even gets to the terminal, she's jumping up to grab her bag. She's in such a rush, in such a panic, doing whatever she's got to do, that the flight attendant has to walk down and say, hey, time out, FAA rules, sit your ass down, you can't do that. And she freaks out on him. She freaks out, and then boom, he explodes and gets 15 seconds of fame and all this, things that are happening with him. And by the way, he's probably never going to work again for an airline, probably will end up with a reality show, who knows. But I want to go back to that gal. See, I think right now what's happening in our society is too many people are just like this. They're just freaking out all the time, running too fast, moving too fast, running through stop signs, breaking red lights, metaphorically speaking, they're just hustling and hurrying to the point that, you know what, they're driving everybody else insane. I want you to stop and think for a second. How are you impacting people? How are you impacting the people around you, right? To honor this, I wore a shirt today. Peaceful, right? It's just a reminder. See, I believe in our world, we've got to be the calming force. The calming force in every transaction we do, in every negotiation we do, in every interaction we do. We need to bring inspiration and possibility, if you will. We got to bring good energy into negotiations and into these tough, challenging times that we're experiencing. I look at that gal. I'm not even thinking about Steven Slater. I'm looking at that gal who, did something clearly wrong. She was the, sort of the nucleus of this whole thing exploding. And they're not spending a lot of time talking about her. They're talking about the guy and him freaking out. This, I think, is the bigger issue. See, I think you and I need to make sure that we're not doing this, so the people around us aren't exploding. So the question is, what is the impact you're having on people? Are you the calming force? Are you the person that brings in good energy? Or like we've talked about before, that energy-sucking vampire, that person that gets everybody else freaking out and reacting? I have two boys, and you've heard me talk about my boys before, and I love sharing with them, this little example, especially if they get into a tiff or a fight, or somebody doesn't go their way, or maybe there's a bully or someone that, is tougher at school. And I remind them that, Buddha said to all of his followers after a guy came into town and basically ridiculed and attacked Buddha. And in the process, Buddha just sat there and just took it all. Smiled, accepted, loving, and the guy leaves. And of course, all the students then go to Buddha and say, Buddha, how could you let this guy, treat you this way, say these things, react this way? And his response was, if I hand you a flower and you choose not to accept the flower, who then has the flower? And of course, the students got it immediately. If I don't accept all that negativity, if I don't accept the bad language or the reaction or the intensity, all that stuff, all that drama going on, if I don't accept it, they still own it. I'm peaceful, I'm free to go on and do the things I have to do. What's the message? You and I, right? We have to recognize that with all this stuff going on around us, be the calming force. Be the calming force, and don't be the cause of the next Steven Slater in a real estate transaction, right? In a negotiation, at your office, with your spouse, at your home. Be the calming force. Be the one that brings the peace. That's my message here on this Friday. I really hope this resonates, and if it does, share it with a couple buddies that you know that maybe need to be reminded of their impact on people. Your strategy matters. Your passion rules. Talk to you next week.